Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, make sure you guys hit that like button and definitely take the time to subscribe, and all that will be greatly appreciated. Now, I wanted to make this video because this is a fight that I think could be happening next. This weekend we had two fighters in the middleweight division in action that I think are going to fight each other very soon. Obviously, Demetrius Andrade went in there and took care of business, and he beat the brakes off Jason Quigley via second round stoppage. Looked great, looked spectacular. Runs his record up to 31-0. It continues to prove not only is he one of the best middleweights out there, but he's also one of the best fighters in any weight class out there. So credit to him. Then you had Janibek Alimkhanuly, a guy that's ranked number 2 in the WBO. We know Munguia, Golden Boy Promotions, and all parties involved on that side. We know they don't want no smoke with Demetrius Andrade, and plus Munguia just got ordered to fight Sergey Derevyanchenko if Derevyanchenko can win his fight against Carlos Adames. So, with that being said, there's no reason to expect Munguia to fight him next, and there's no reason to think any of the champions will be fighting him next. So I think the most realistic opponent is Janibek Alimkhanuly, and in his fight this weekend, he fought the corpse in the old version of Hassan Mandam, and I'm not gonna lie, he won. He got the 9th round stoppage, so that's the important thing. But I gotta be honest, man, Janibek left a little bit to be desired for me in that fight. I've seen Callum Smith blast this guy out on 3 rounds. I've seen this guy get pieced up by a lot of fighters, and I think Janibek is still one of the biggest threats out there to Demetrius Andrade, but I'm truthfully not as confident in him after that performance as I would have been previously. But hey, I still think that there was a guy you were picking around the 160-pound weight limit as the guy to beat Demetrius Andrade. This would have to be one of the guys towards the top, because first of all, in order to beat Demetrius Andrade, you got to fight him. So that means most of the guys that you think could beat him are already canceled out because they don't want any smoke. So that means Jamal Charlo, he's scared to death of Demetrius Andrade. He doesn't think he can win. He doesn't have any belief in his boxing skills. He don't want to fight him. Golovkin's fighting Murata. Golovkin's pretty much semi-retired, so I don't think he'll want to fight Demetrius Andrade. There's not a lot of guys that want to fight him at this moment in time. So I think Janibek, he's one of the guys that I believe we'll be fighting him next. Bob Arum did say that he's going to go to the WBO, and he's going to petition to try to get that fight made next. And look, let's break that fight down for a second, because it's an interesting fight. So most of the time when Demetrius Andrade fights people, he has the advantage because of his amateur pedigree and things like that. Janibek's a very well-schooled amateur, probably just as well-schooled as Boo Boo is. That's why he's being fast-tracked towards a world title and a world title opportunity, because he's got that ability, he's got that experience, and he has those skills coming from the amateurs in Kazakhstan. He's already been in there with a couple of veterans and stopped them both in Hassan Mandam and Rob Brandt. So he's ready for a step up. He's ranked highly. Let's talk about it. So the advantages that I think Boo Boo would have in that fight, if it were to happen next, is that I think Boo Boo, I think his angles that he punches from and the way he sets them up, they're going to be very hard for Janibek to get used to early in the fight. It's going to take him some time. As far as who has the better jab, I think they both have good jabs. I think Janibek's jab is right there at Boo Boo's. I think Janibek's got a great jab himself. I think Janibek can match Boo Boo jab for jab. He's probably one of the only fighters at 160 that can match Boo Boo jab for jab. So I think he's got that going for him. In terms of physical strength, that's another good one. Janibek, I don't think is as physically strong as Boo Boo. I think maybe he's just a tad bit physically stronger, less physically strong than Boo Boo. But Demetrius Andrade, I think, would have his hands full. We've seen Demetrius Andrade even recently, like in the Liam Williams fight. He won the fight pretty easily. He won like 9 or 10 rounds, but he had some nervy moments when Liam Williams touched him. And if Janibek can find a way to land those shots on Demetrius Andrade, and set up that big straight left hand of his, it could be a big problem for Demetrius Andrade. It's also a southpaw versus southpaw matchup, so I like that matchup because anybody who really knows Demetrius Andrade, and I do, like when I interviewed Paul Andrade earlier this year, he said that Demetrius Andrade actually began, when he started boxing, he began his career as an orthodox fighter, then he switched to southpaw. So Boo Boo has that ability to switch. He just doesn't have to do it in most cases because most guys aren't good enough to make him dig into his toolbox. But this might be a fight where when we talk about boxing skills, punching power, experience, pedigree, we get a fighter that makes him do that. So maybe this is a fight where we don't see Boo Boo in the southpaw stance as much. We see him actually box as an orthodox, which would be very interesting. I think Janibek has a lot of things going for him if they do fight. Punching power, of course. Boxing skills, of course. Footwork and ring positioning, ring generalship. That might be where Janibek comes unstuck, because I really feel like if there's anything that Demetrius Andrade is good at, it's being a master of that ring, being a master of ring generalship, being a master of distance. He's a very hard guy to hit cleanly. I mean, in his entire career, the only guy that's really managed to hit him cleanly, like hard, was Fondas Martirosyan. Cole K landed some good shots as well, but nothing like extremely dangerous. Vons Martirosyan clocked Demetrius Andrade, and other than him, Liam Williams landed some decent shots here and there. Cole K landed some decent shots here and there, but probably one of the hardest fighters in boxing to hit cleanly, because of the fact that he's very long for the weight class. He's very long. I think he's got like a 73.5-inch reach advantage. I think Janibek has about a 71.5. So a 2-inch reach advantage, that's in his favor. He knows how to use it, which is the most important thing. It's one thing to have the reach advantage, it's another to actually know how to use it. So he knows how to set things up, and he knows how to hit you and hurt you to get your respect instantly. That's what happened to Quigley. Quigley probably had a game plan, and then Boo Boo hit him with a big overhand left. And as it's been reported to us now, he broke Jason Quigley's jaw in the first round. So a lot of guys, they go and they watch Demetrius Andrade from the outside of the ring, and they say, oh man, this guy's a boxer. They train for a boxer, and then they go in there and they find out he's much more than a boxer. He's whatever he needs to be to win. He's one of the most adaptable fighters in boxing. That's why if you pay attention to his fights, fight by fight, he doesn't box the same fight twice. He literally is the definition of be water. When Bruce Lee said be water, he's formless. Be water. He adapts to whatever's in front of him. So if you're a pressure fighter, he'll adapt. If you're a more of a back foot fighter, he'll adapt. And it's just beautiful to watch. So I really feel like in the middleweight division, this is a fight that's not getting talked up enough, because Janibek Alimkhanuly is not a big name yet. But he is ranked, and it is a possibility, and Bob Arum is going to potential the WBO to get this fight to happen next. So you might be seeing it next. And I think there's so many things from a tactical standpoint in this fight that I think boxing fans can look forward to, because this guy, Janibek, he actually beat Jason Quigley in the amateurs. So he beat Quigley in the amateurs. He's beat a lot of top guys in the amateurs. He's beat Rob Brandt in the pros. If you're a Demetrius Andrade hater, right? For the Demetrius Andrade haters, you can say that he's done something that Demetrius Andrade hasn't done. He stopped a former world champion in his career. Boo Boo Andrade has not stopped any former world champions in his career. Therefore, you can say that's a feather in his cap if you want to talk that resume talk. So there's a lot of interesting things going into that matchup, but I would say this. I don't think he'll beat Demetrius Andrade, but if you had to pick somebody as the guy to beat Demetrius Andrade because they'll actually fight him, this would be the guy right here, Janibek Alimkhanuly. And yeah, looking forward to hopefully this fight getting made. I'll be keeping track to see if it gets made. And if it doesn't, it is what it is. But at least this is here for historical reference. If it does happen or doesn't happen, it's here for historical reference, and you guys can get my thoughts on this fight happening when both these guys won their fights in late 2021. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Is Janibek Alimkhanuly the guy that beat Demetrius Andrade to become the WBO middleweight world champion and prove once and for all that he is a horrible fighter? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.